accessing here web UI technologies. Under this, these all the topics we are going to cover here. When you enter the flipkart.com, you can select the quantity, you can select the item, quantity, payment, and it will go for the third party website. When you are getting the value or when you are putting the values, means when you enter the value, when you receive and you try to select the value, so that time it will connect with your server side programming. That server side programming, it will connect with the server side programming will be connected with the database. That database may be Oracle database, MySQL database, or SQL Server database. Like that, it can connect with any one database. So in this time, so we are using here flipkart.com. With that flipkart.com, we can able to select the item. So that front end, we can how you want to design your application. Left side one item, right side one item, menu bar, list of items. Those all stuff we can create it. Here Flipkart online shopping. So here flipkart.com. See here, this is one of the scrolling bar, scrolling images. This scrolling images you can create it by using Jquery. So we have Jquery now. So with that Jquery, we can create this type of scrolling option. This scrolling option we can create it for the user by Jquery. And here we are showing that list of items. This whole list we can create it. This whole list, whatever it is, that whole list what we are creating here, this whole list is because of server side code. So this whole list, see here PPE kit something, so mask, so this vaporizer, so like this safety help, like this it is showing all the items. When you click here, so you can see some more items. When you click back here, you can see some more items. So this type of thing we can create it. This is accessing from the server side code. Server is connecting with the database. So just only this separation bar, border, horizontal line, this is what we can create it. And when you mouse over on it, just some movement in that, these all we can create it with our front end. So front end will create the alignment of the items, content of the item, left and right alignment of the item, we can create it like this. So remaining all, we no need to create, we don't write by manually. So it is from database. So they'll store how many items are there with them. So they will store in one database. So product, so what type of product they have, so furniture product, so they'll store one table for furniture. So in that furniture, they'll register all the list of items from what they have in their store. So those items will access it and will display in the front end page. So this type of thing we do it by our front end technologies. So now here, as of now, what is a front end? So now I'll show you what is one example on each topic. So here, if I use the HTML program, what type of output I can create? If I use the JavaScript, if I use CSS, what comes here, I can show you. Here, with these topics I'm going to cover you. But if you want to be a real-time front-end developer, then companies are looking for the framework level. So after completion of this, or once I start the JavaScript onwards, you can parallelly start frameworks. So they are looking for the frameworks, but frameworks are not covered under this. Here you can work with the frameworks here. So under this frameworks, you can work with the frameworks here. Under this framework, either you can go with for Angular framework or a React framework, React.js or Node.js. So any one framework, Vue.js, like that, we have so many JS, JavaScript frameworks. You can go for any one of the framework to enter into the real-time development. Means in the company real-time development, you can enter as a UI developer if you know any one of the framework from here. So now I'll show you one example on all. Here, let me open. See here. So now I'll show you one example. Here HTML4. So first HTML. What is a HTML? HTML creates the structure for application. Here HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Mainly it is used for creating the structure for application. Structure of or content of structure of a web page we can create it by using HTML. So mainly HTML create the structure of the web page. Basic structure of a web page we can create it by using HTML. Next one is so let's see one example under this. So what we can create it. So here complete application form. Okay. Anchor tag, form tag, input type. See here. Here, when you run this program, just run it by live server. See, this is the Visual Studio Code. I'll use this editor for writing the programs. You can install Visual Studio Code or a Sublime Text or a brackets or Atom or Eclipse or NetBeans. Any one IDE, you can install it for writing the programs. Generally, general real time. This one training and all sake, generally we use this Visual Studio Code for writing the program. Even for frameworks also we use this Visual Studio Code for developing the UI development. Complete all our content we can write our programs in this Visual Studio Code. Okay, but at that IDE you may use Eclipse or NetBeans or Sublime Text. Like that, you have so many IDEs for the front-end development, you can use it. See here, if I use only HTML, that application look like this. See, complete application form is there, but that application form is displaying without any alignment. Just that form is application form is in center, but these all are something, there is no alignment for the application. If you create the structure, text boxes we can create it by HTML, password boxes we can create it by HTML, and age, that number box we can create it, numbers we can create it, and male and female radio button check boxes, and the text area, and then common here drop down list. So these all the stuff we can create it by using HTML. HTML basically gives you structure for application. So even if you check here, anchor tag. So here anchor tag is used for creating the hyperlinks. See, we can provide different hyperlinks here, different anchor tags we can write it. When I click on it, I can able to redirect to google.com. When I click on here, it is redirecting to another tab, and it is opening that Java website. Here, if I click here, it is opening that particular website. This particular website, it is showing like this. Similar way, here similar way we can show the output, anchor tag output. So if you see here in under HTML, we are going to see how to create the list items, how to create application form, how to write all text boxes, buttons, and how to display the videos, and italic content, bold content, how to create it. Those all will learn it in under this HTML programming. See here, how to write the headings, how to write paragraph, and here some content in italic, some is bold, some is big tag, some is strong, and it is italic content and strikeouted content and highlighted content, and it is highlighting with a green color, and underlined content. So this type of contents. So we are using separate tags here. So because of that, it is showing this type of output. Okay. So this type of thing we can create it by using HTML. So if I add the CSS for this HTML, see here, for the existing page sake, you can add the CSS here. So if you add the CSS here, you can write left and right alignment, background colors, borders, margin, padding. See here, Here you can show one image. Here you can show one more image. Images are missing here. That's why it is not showing. Jquery, JavaScript, somewhere we placed images. Here under this CSS, under this float.html, here I want to use, here it is my 5.jpg. Control this. See here, left side one image, right side one image, center, title of the website, and here we are showing all the list of items, menu bar, and left side scrolling content, and right side some information and border footer. So this content we are creating by HTML. Tags we are writing by HTML, but alignment we are doing with the CSS. Alignment of the application we can do it by CSS. CSS mainly give you left and right alignment of the application. Left alignment, right alignment of the web page, we can create it by using this HTML. See here, you can see that a list of images will start from bottom. See here, all images are starting from the bottom and going up and towards top. So this type of output we can create it created by using CSS. Background related property. So multiple backgrounds, multiple images, multiple background colors, all we can apply it. See, this background content is covering with all background colors. So that colors also we can create it. See, if there is no image here, 1.5.jpg. See here, entire background is covered with one image. So content is moving on the top of the image. So this type of thing also we can create it by using CSS. So if I use the CSS is nothing but cascading style sheet. CSS is nothing but it's a cascading style sheet. So by that we can create the background, foreground colors, and border colors, and color, font color, and the borders, like that. The text to decoration, text to shadow effect. So like that, text to shadow effect. So like this type of effects we can, etc, we can create it by using CSS. CSS mainly gives you makeup part of the website. Makeup part of website we can write it by using CSS. So you can learn CSS2 and CSS3. So what we can learn it in CSS3? In CSS2 we can write single color. In CSS3 we can write multiple gradient colors. So multiple colors combination and the gradient color combination we can create it by using CSS3. See here, this linear top to bottom linear gradient color. This is left to right linear gradient color, multiple color combination. Here it is a diagonal linear gradient color. Here it is the circular radial gradient colors. Multiple colors are in the circular, and that too closest path, farthest corner, closest corner, and farthest corner. So like these all the ways we can write the multiple gradient colors. That is possible for your entire body shape also. You can apply this type of combination. These all are the different ways we can apply the multiple gradient colors under CSS3. Okay, border radius. So all rounded corner borders, all we can create it by using CSS3. See here, border I'm using here one image. Image also different type of images we are using here. Rounded corner border, only few sides. This side is rounded, this side is rounded, this is very little round, and this is very small little rounded corner. See, this type of rounded corners also we can create it by using CSS. Okay. Next, when you go for the HTML5 canvas tag, SVG tag, and all different type of input elements. Canvas tag means you can create the 2D 3D graphics effects. 2D 3D graphics effects we can create it by using canvas tag. See here that slant line, circle, the slant line, the circle, this one, this font word art, and this linear gradient color, radial gradient colors we can create it by using canvas tag. So we'll discuss under HTML5. Next, under JavaScript. So JavaScript actually it is a functionality of the browser. So means what functions you are write it. So what is the programming you are going to write it for the browser. So that will write it in the JavaScript. So JavaScript mainly give you functionality of the browser. Of browser we can create it by using this. Means we can create functions with object oriented programming, OOP programming we can implement it. So under this mouse over, mouse out, submit, validation, like that, these all stuff we can create it. Here if you run this animation, I want to create some animation with the JavaScript. See here, that item will be moved for every few seconds and changing its color. See here, that div tag is moving towards right side, and once it reaches to 600 pixels from the left side, it is stopped the animation. So this type of animation effects we can create it by using JavaScript. Next, cookies. We can create cookies. We can write the DOM. DOM is nothing but it's a document object model. So under JavaScript only we can use it. Here we can read the value, we can write the value by using this DOM. So under DOM, here read and write DOM. Show and hide effect also we can show it by this. Local storage, histories, and.html variables. Here map, yeah, read and write DOM. If you can read the items, you can write the items by using this JavaScript. See here, if I want, I don't want to enter all the application form manually. See here, write down. See, it is filling the application form automatically with the default values. And I want to change some style part. Some style part I want to change it. See here, this content is coming with some border. This image is coming with some border. Styles you can apply here. Read down what the values you have written, default values. Those default values we can write it by JavaScript. Here you can read it. See here what the write DOM Scott 1234 Scott at gmail.com USA, and one paragraph tag, and this is one image, and this is one google.com. So this way we can create it here, complete application form. This application we are creating by HTML only, but when you click on it, what function you want to execute it, that we write it in JavaScript. I think you are following my class, right? What is JavaScript? What is CSS?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Here, next level. So under this, we are going to see the how to write object-oriented programming. Also, we'll learn it in the class. Okay. Next topic is Jquery. Jquery is nothing but it's an external library of JavaScript. So we are adding for our application sake, we are adding one external library of JavaScript. See here, Jquery 3.6.0 min.js. If you want, you can download this file, or you can directly use it from that website. Advisable is download and use it. So means we are using one external JS file. So by that we no need to write the entire code every time. Just we can write a little amount of code and we can execute the output. See here, I need a hide and show effect. See here, it is slowly hidden. Once it is hidden, so slowly it will show. See, this hide and show I can write it by JavaScript also. But when I write it Jquery, slow and fast, and just only few lines of code we can write it. By that, we can implement this type of effect. Here, hide, show means one button on the top of the button. We are changing that hide to show, show to hide. This we can create it by Jquery. Here, toggling. Toggling means both effect. But here it is different. This button is giving different effect, and this toggle is giving different effect. Then slide up, slide down, slide toggle. This is slide toggle. Then fade in, fade out. See, just slightly it is fading, disappear. Fade in, slowly appear. Here, fade toggle. See here, fade toggle. Okay. Fade to means change its opacity. See here, transparency of color, opacity of the color changed. That is fade to. Set ADTR. So we are setting all the content here. Get ADTR. We are getting all the content here. Here append. So by that we can append it. Here append the content. Before, after, animate. Every clicking time it is changing its width of that content. So like that, here we can create all the applications. Complete application form, we can create it by using Jquery. Similar way, watermark effect, water movement, water rippling effect, I want to create it using Jquery. See here, using Jquery, we have added Jquery 3.5.1.min.js and we have added Jquery ripple.js. We added two libraries of JS. So now JS JavaScript. Here now I'm using that. Okay, I need one image here. Again, responsive design. Here for .jpg, I'll place it here. Here watermark effect you can see here. See, when I run that program, water rippling effect, just run it by live server. By that, see water movement you can see here. Can you see that watering effect? If you use the dark image, you can see that water how it is moving. You can see that. So this type of water movement effects we can create it by using Jquery. Similar way, responsive design. Responsive design is nothing but how we are showing the multiple column layouts. Depends on your device size, how we see. If for desktop it's showing 3 columns. Here for a tab it is showing 2 columns. 2 columns. One column is converted into row. Here if I change my screen size to mobile, see it is converted into 1 column layout. For tab, it will be like this. For desktop, it will be like this. For mobile, it will be like this. So different devices, how we can write the output, that we learn it in this responsive design. Here, Jquery is nothing but it's a library of JavaScript. Here it is Jquery. Jquery is nothing but it's an external library of external lib of JavaScript. It's an external library of JavaScript. Under this, here it's an external library of JavaScript. We have so many Jquery files. So Jquery files, that is 3.5.1.js. And like that we have Jquery validation.js. So like that we have Jquery ripple.js. Ripple.js. Like that we have so many Jquery files. So now this time here if I use that external Jquery, by that I can create water rippling effect, all effects we can create it. So it is nothing but it's an external library of JavaScript. It's an external file. Next, what is the responsive design? Responsive design is nothing but responsive. So responsive design is nothing but how we are showing our output in all devices. All devices are nothing but how you are showing your output in tablet, mobile and desktop. In all devices, how you are showing that output column layouts, that will learn it in the responsive design. Next one is Bootstrap. So Bootstrap time we'll see it is a framework. It's a ready-made framework of, you no need to write any code from the scratch. So we have a ready-made framework. It's a framework of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. HTML, CSS and JavaScript. It is a ready-made framework of JavaScript. We use that bootstrap.min.js file. By that we can create a progress bar, water effect, all effects we can create it using Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a ready-made structure. So it's a ready-made structure. We can create all types of effects. See here, we have added all the Jquery files here. Bootstrap.css. See, display 1, display 2. See here, background, border effect, text different color, and column layouts. Automatically it is responsive. And tables. We can create like this. This is the way we can write the Bootstrap. And Ajax, I'll explain you once we enter in that topic. And Bootstrap responsive design. And lessons as is mainly used for creating CSS file only, but we'll create one less file. So under CSS also we can declare variables, nesting, how to write the CSS code in a different way, that we'll learn it in less and SAS both. In less and in SAS, we'll discuss how to write the SCSS file, how to write the LESS file. We'll discuss there. This LESS and SCSS both are for creating the CSS file only, but it will be little bit different. It's a superset for the CSS. So we'll learn about that. This is about totally content what I'm going to cover it in our course. Am I going fast or slow, or are you able to follow my teaching or not?
Yeah, we are able to follow. So, ma'am, I have one doubt. So, so are you gonna cover the same while going through Jquery? You said about that hide and show, right? So,
Yes.
will you be able to cover covering those topics whatever there in JavaScript also, ma'am? So as of
Yes,
now we
yes.
have seen. Okay, okay,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. Everything will implement it by JavaScript.
okay,
That same stuff will implement it by jQuery also.
okay, okay,
Okay. So
yeah,
JavaScript will implement it and jQuery also will implement it, that same coding.
yeah,
And every Saturday, so from the third Saturday of our course onwards, so once we
okay,
start the session, regular session, that once I start the JavaScript now, so that Saturday onwards, I'll sit for project session on every Saturday. So we'll take one real-time example and we'll try to implement that
yeah,
example with our subject knowledge.
okay. So we need
Okay.
to make the ID setup, right? Visual Studio.
Yes, IDE.
Okay,
IDE
okay,
you have to install it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, for all of you, is it clear? Pawan, you joined just now. You are very late. I am started one more session at 8 p.m. also night. If you are not able to wake up in this time, Pawan, you can join in the night session. Aditya, Krish, Pardu, am I clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we'll meet tomorrow at 6 a.m. for the continuation of the topic. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.